Hello and welcome back to the Food Future Talks. I'm Dean Sprague from Melbourne Chefs, and today we're speaking to Amber Kaba. Now, Amber was still very much an acclaimed chef, working at such institutions as Quay in Sydney. Spent some time in London, working at a couple of Michelin stars. Came back to Australia, an exclusive, high-ranking catering company, and went back to university and did some diet and nutrition. Amber's been involved in the industry for a very, very long time, but she'd noticed that there's a bit of a dark side. So I want to talk to Amber about what she saw and what she did about it. Welcome, Amber.
Hello, Dean. Thank you. Thank you very much for the nice introduction.
Absolutely. Well, I can hear some beautiful birds in the background, and I can see a beautiful blue butterfly behind you. So you seem to be in a nice, peaceful surroundings, but it hasn't always been the case, has it?
No, well, I started in the kitchen at quite a young age, and I really did fall in love with the fast pace and the high pressure of it all. As you mentioned, I worked at Quay. That was kind of my foundation, and I was very lucky to have that starting with Peter Gilmore. He's a wonderful role model. But yes, the time constraints and the pressure of producing perfection was something that I really, really enjoyed, and I've continued a long career on the quest to keep getting better and better. And unfortunately, those sorts of pressures and stresses can lead to negative vices. And I did turn to alcohol for a lot of my career. In a way, it was probably accepted. That's the way that I was sort of brought up to deal with to unwind the stress at the end of the day. But yes, it just it didn't work well with my body, and it turned into something that I used as a coping mechanism. So yes, that's been my struggle. A couple of years ago, I realized that wasn't working for me, and I made the choice to stop drinking, and I haven't drunk since. So
well done.
Very pleased to say that I'm fit and healthy and feeling the best that I've felt in my whole life.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, the industry, I mean, everyone has that, the mythological chef who's on the sauce, and it just sort of seems to be hand in hand with the industry. We get so fired up, and so, the adrenaline's pumping, and even a few hours after we've finished work, we can still be in that heightened sense. So I think knowing some coping mechanisms for dealing with that and bringing us down in a safe, nurturing way, as opposed to drinking or harder drugs, or that slow collapse into mental health.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of education that we can put out into the younger generations. Certainly knowing the consequences of having 10 instead of 2.
Yep.
And just being well aware of the effects that it has on our body, because being on our feet all day, every day, and having that as our career to ripe old age, we really have to look after our bodies. We've only got one. And it's certainly something that I've realized by not having it go into my body. I just feel so much better for it. But it's not about giving up completely, teetotaling. It's just about knowing a healthy moderation and knowing what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly right. So what you also identified, Amber, was that there's a lot of mental and emotional health issues out there as well. And again, chefs and hospitality, we're notably, yeah, definitely a little bit left of center, or a little bit crazy, a little bit mad, and it's encouraged in many ways. The more crazy you are, the more artistic and expressive you can be, but it does take an effect on
That's
us.
true. Yes, this industry does tend to put a warm arm around people who are less likely to get into other industries. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's great. It's so easy to work around shifts, and easy to work with a family. So there are a lot of advantages that our industry has, but in the last couple of decades, we've certainly seen in the media that it's the negative things about the industry that have really come shining through. And it is time to talk about them. The reason why I started the White Jacket Effect was because my chef mentor and very, very good friend took his own life. And it was a time for me where I just felt so powerless. I really didn't know how to talk to him about what he was going through, and I didn't know where to send him to get the help that he needed. And it is from the culture throughout our industry that we got to be tough, and we got to push on, and we just got to put up with what we're being dealt. And those sorts of things have to change. It's creating a healthy mind all comes down to communication. And it's really all about the way we think and the way we speak and the way we listen to each other. And that's what White Jacket Effect is all about now, is really opening up dialogue about how we talk to one another and how we communicate. And I'm sure that that is going to pave the path to having a much safer and mentally healthy industry.
Yeah, good. And the more we have this type of conversation, the more it's accepted into the mainstream as well. So I guess
That's right.
we've all worked in kitchens that we know that there's someone who isn't quite right. But what sort of signs should we be looking out for?
Well, like I said, creating a healthy mind all comes down to communication. And it's really important for us to keep in contact with our peers and check in to see if everything is okay. One of the things that I have learned a lot out of developing the Get Fresh course, which White Jacket Effect are rolling out at the moment, is that thoughts create dis-ease. And so it's so simple when you think about it. It's our thoughts that can manifest within our head to create the feelings that make us not well. So let's take, for example, I was wanting to go to my boss and ask for a promotion. I could start feeling a bit nervous because in my head I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I could do this. And then that brings on the anxiousness and the thoughts of that I'm afraid of stuffing up, or what if I fail? Then the fear starts coming in, and then we start beating ourselves up.
And the self-doubt.
Yes, we start really like whipping ourselves and saying, oh, I failed once before, or maybe I shouldn't even try. And those sorts of knock-on effects of thoughts and feelings can be really debilitating, and they can lead to depression and worse. So there's two worlds that we look at where these negative thoughts can manifest into unhealthy state of mind, and that's when we're in our heads about ourselves. thinking I'm not good enough. I don't know if I can do this. And the other world is when we're thinking about how people are going to perceive us. What if I look stupid? Or what if I stuff up? So it's really powerful to learn how to deal with these thoughts and how to look at things from a different angle. And the coaching that we do at White Jacket Effect with the Get Fresh course really challenges us to think and speak and listen in a different way so that we can live more powerfully and with more freedom and ease.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's the way life should be. Yes, we do work in a high pressure situation with, I've even thought it myself. Saturday night, there's orders, there's demands, there's the time limits that you literally are walking on that fine line of sanity and completely losing it. And I've seen people lose it, and it's not pretty. It's not funny. It's very damaging to the people that are around that individual.
Yeah, certainly. And those sorts of pressures that you're describing, like at the end of the night, you've got to do this and you're tired, and if you make a mistake, it might have huge consequences for the next day. Everyone's relying on you. They're the sorts of feelings that make you think, oh, I could really do with a drink.
Yeah.
Or maybe I might go out and party tonight and that'll make me feel better. It's a vicious circle, and that's why it's so important that we're all looking after each other, and not just the managers looking after the staff, but everyone as a team, because it doesn't work if we're not working as a team.
So with the program that you were speaking about, Amber, through the White Jacket Effect, is that for an individual or is that for a team? Is that something that a business can bring in as part of their human resources policy or communications policy?
Yeah, definitely. It's for everyone. We have recognised that there are issues that business owners and managers deal with that are slightly different to staff. So we have tailored it for those three specific categories. There's definitely things that overlap, that's for sure, but we have a course for business owners and for managerial staff and for staff.
Yeah, fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
yeah,
Well,
it's very
well,
very good.
I guess often we don't realise that we're feeling the things that we do because we're so far into our own minds, and then it's the pressure to keep up or to continue as per normal. Yeah, we don't realise how much an effect our mental health has upon us until we reach that point where it's very hard to bring it back. Um, I
Yes,
get,
that's very true, and it's important that we look at it from a prevention point of view rather than cure, because as you said, it can be very difficult to come back from that when you've gone too far. So,
yeah, fantastic. Well, Amber, I just want to thank you so much for your time. I think this conversation is one of the most important conversations, and we really can't talk about the future of the food industry, the future of food, without bringing it back onto our own health and well-being, and the major part of that is our mental health. So I just want to thank you on behalf of the chefs and hospitality staff and others. I mean, what we're talking about here is adaptable by a mainstream audience as much as it is in hospitality. So I just want to personally thank you for being bold enough to say, hey, you know what, something needs to be done here.
thank you very much. Thank you for having me and sharing what we're out to achieve, and I'm sure we're going to make a difference.
Absolutely. Each day as it comes, and Amber, don't stop doing what you're doing. You're much needed, and any Ambers that follow behind you. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for that important work that you're doing.
Thank you. If anyone would like to get into contact, you can contact me at info@whitejacketeffect.com.au.
Terrific. And of course, all the links to the White Jacket Effect are just down below. So please, if you feel that you're not coping as well as you could be, or you're seeing one of your teammates who seems to be a little bit off, it's certainly worthwhile having that discussion, but creating a safe environment where that discussion can take place is one of the most critical things. So do get in contact with the Amber at the White Jacket Effect. There are programs in place there that can help us and help us to move forward to create an even better industry into the future.
That's right. Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you.